childhood memories. So today, when I was getting my butt kicked by biking, I just happened to be transported back in time to when I was a kid. Um, do you remember when you were a kid and you used to actually bike everywhere, to your friend's house, to actually pretty much everywhere? I think for me, I don't think I really walked anywhere. Actually, I think I pretty much grew a pair of wheels when I was a kid. Do you actually remember when there was like a thing of dirt that used to slide into it because you thought you were a badass, or that used to jump onto curbs and onto like if there was a bump, what did you do? Well, you used to do a wheelie on it. Yeah, that was me. So, like I said, just going back, there's a few things that I was just thinking about today. Uh, some things that probably as adults it's not that we don't think about it. It's that I think with just all the stress of everyday life that sometimes we kind of forget, maybe it's our childhood. So this is just to relive a couple of childhood memories. Um, so for me, one of the childhood memories that I had was pretty much when I got home from school. Well, what did I do? Well, I tried to coerce my parents to say, "Hey, no homework. I will do it later." Why? Well, cartoons. I think cartoons for me was like the escape, the de-stressor from when I was a kid. It was just a great time. But can you just imagine all the cartoons that we used to watch as a kid? I mean, you had like Tiny Toon Adventures, you had Animaniacs, DuckTales. Although technically it wasn't a cartoon, it was still something that we used to watch. You know what? I'm gonna admit it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I mean, come on, Green Ranger, Red Ranger. I mean, it was cool, and not even that. The music was fantastic. I mean, I used to rock out to that stuff all the time. Yes, I used to rock out to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers music because why? It was pretty cool. Um, Gummy Bears, Super Mario Brothers. Actually, do you remember the old Super Mario Brothers cartoon where he had the live action and then he had the cartoon? Pretty cheesy stuff, but always memorable. But my favorite part was always every Friday they would have a Legend of Zelda cartoon. I don't care what I was doing that day, I would stop what I was doing and I would watch Legend of Zelda. Why? Because it was cool. Uh, and then you had, just even I don't know if you remember even Nickelodeon stuff. You had just on Nickelodeon, you had Rugrats, Doug, Rocco's Modern Life. You had Angry Beavers, which was later part '90s, I believe. Um, you had Hey Arnold, and then you had like even just the live action shows. You had Nick Arcade. You had Legends of the Hidden Temple, where I so wanted to be on that show. Um, but yeah, you had all that stuff. And then let's not forget Saturday morning cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons. Oh my gosh. I used to get up at 6 a.m. just to watch Saturday morning cartoons. There's a few other cartoons. I can't believe I'm honestly forgetting this stuff. But Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman. Um, there's a whole slew of just cartoons that I know we used to watch as kids. Um, but then that kind of made me think about other things. What were some other stuff that I used to do when I was a kid? Well, do you remember being out late? Uh, I used to be out late all the time. I remember pretty much, our time was when the lights came up. Um, that's when I knew I would need to go home. But I remember calling my mom from, saying, "Hey, mom, can I stay at wherever, whomever's place for an extra hour, whatever." So I used to do that all the time. Um, I had a lot of adventures. I remember I actually got lost in a sewer. Yes, I got lost in a sewer. Why? Because we wanted to go into a sewer. So I actually almost fell into a cesspool. Yeah, it was pretty cool story. So, but yeah, I used to, do stuff like that, skin knees and bruises and bumps, and you have no idea where you got them. Well, that's because we used to be outside playing all the time. But again, just other things I used to think of. Well, one of my favorite games, when I was a kid was Pogs. If you don't know where Pogs are, stop this video, go Google or YouTube it. But pretty much Pogs, I used to rule at that game. Um, and I used to actually, I've gotten into a fight or two because I was, I was pretty good. And, unfortunately, my friends, yeah, they hated losing, and not rightfully so. I hated losing too, but yeah, Pogs were always cool. But then, can you imagine just the fads that we had? We had what, slap bracelets. We had crystal clear Pepsi. Um, we had neon. What was it? LA Gear. We had. Do you remember the neon clothes that we used to wear? I have so many pictures of me when I was a kid with these bright green T-shirts that I have no idea why I was wearing this stuff, but I guess is because it was 90s. But then you had like the 90s haircuts. You had the 90s tude, so to speak. You always had, all these shows that had attitude. So, do you remember watching TGIF on Friday nights? You had, what was it, Full House. You had Step by Step, Family Matters. Um, and then just that stuff. And then on Saturday, what did you have? Well, you had Snick, where you had all of that. You had where my favorite show when I was a kid was Are You Afraid of the Dark? Holy crap! That was one of the coolest shows I ever made. So other stuff when I was a kid, video games. So as you're seeing right now, what am I wearing? Well, a Nintendo shirt. Why? Because I'm a softie for Nintendo. Um, I to be honest, I had plugged in so many hours, countless hours, and through my controller across the room. I don't know how many times because of frustration, but just thinking of just regular games, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, RBI Baseball, Contra. Okay, if you do not know the Contra code whatsoever, you need to stop playing games in general and just go rethink your life. Battletoads, Metroid, Castlevania 2. I used to like Castlevania 2, but what pissed me off all the time is why did you have to interrupt the game all the freaking time with the stupid, turning to night versus day? I mean, that was always lame. But yeah, other countless video games. And you had Super NES. I mean, Super NES. I remember the day that I got my Super NES. It was a Christmas. And I was not even thinking I was going to get, anything close to that. And I remember my parents got me that along with the TV. And that was like the coolest present when I was a kid. So, um, but again, these are just a few things that I remember just as a kid. If there's anything whatsoever that you would think of as a kid, comment below. I think my new tagline is going to be comment below, let me know. So um, hopefully this will suit you guys for another day. So have a good day.